UFC. Please tell me, when are you going to smash in that melon head?
Not me, man. I'm not fighting anybody.
Come on.
Chuck's going to have to do that, not me. Plus, me and Tito are friends now.
Hey Dana,
How you
thanks
doing?
again for coming out.
Pleasure, thank you.
My question is to do with the future of UFC and MMA. At the moment, the rise in popularity of MMA and the UFC is being put down to that you can see all the best fighters in the UFC and you can see the best fighters fight, whereas in boxing you kind of can't. The best fighters aren't fighting each other.
Right.
As MMA becomes more popular and there's more money in it, perhaps if more promotions open up, do you see that as a danger for the UFC and the MMA, and what can you do to
As more promotions open up?
Yeah, if more promotions open up.
I think it's a good thing. Contrary to popular belief, I think it's a good thing. We need it to happen. You know, the UFC can't exist and do everything itself. There has to be all these other small shows that pop up all over the world, and guys get experience, they make some money, and then someday hopefully make it into the UFC.
But if larger other promotions open up, say like Strikeforce, and fighters like Henderson or Fatal go there, and then is there a possibility you can't see the best fights anymore?
Yeah, no, I don't think it actually makes me laugh. It actually makes me laugh when people say big promotions like Strikeforce.
If they become bigger, Strikeforce isn't that great at the moment.
Right, their financial model doesn't work. What Strikeforce should have done is stayed small, and it's been proven. I mean, I don't know how many times it's got to happen for people to realize when you try to go to that level, you blow your brains out. It doesn't work, and you end up wasting all this money and losing a shitload of money when you could have stayed, you know, at the level they were at and made money and created a business where they actually could have stayed alive and kept guys making money, including themselves. But they all want to jump to this bigger model and see the big picture and go for it, and then they end up, you know, going away. And that will happen to Strikeforce too.
Imitation is the best version of flattery.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's not that I'm worried about the listen, I mean, look at how big this thing is now. We're all over the world. Do you think I'm worried about Strikeforce? These guys can't even get a show together. They don't know who's fighting, where they're doing the fight. These guys got some big problems. They're the last thing I'm worried about. But at the end of the day, I don't want them to go away. I don't want them to go away. But they're going to blow their brains out when they could have stayed there and kept middle-level talent getting better and making money and then eventually making it into the UFC. So go ahead. Did you have another one? Oh, that was it?
I was just saying that last bit was a compliment.
Thank you. No, I understand. No, I understand. Thank you.
Thanks, Dana.
Thank you.
Hey, Dana, welcome to Australia. I just got two questions. Are you guys going to China soon?
Yeah.
And when is Jason Miller going to be fighting UFC again? I'm sick of watching him in Strikeforce.
He's here tonight. He's backstage. But
when's he going to be fighting though?
That I don't know. I couldn't answer that question. But what was your other question?
You're going to China soon. I do a lot of work in China, so I heard a rumor you guys are going there.
Yeah, Lorenzo's actually going there in the next 3 weeks for a meeting, and we're trying to. That's actually one of the next places we're talking about doing the Ultimate Fighter. Is in China.
Okay, because you've got the World Expo in Shanghai this year. It's going to be lots of tourists, lots of people there, lots of money.
Yeah, cool. No, we're excited. China, India, and South Korea are the next 3.
Cool. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Dana. I have a question about education, like basically educating the general public of Australia about MMA. I come from South Australia, and our fight rules are ridiculous. It's C-class judo rules. You know, wearing headgear, you're wearing footgear, and there's no ground and pound or anything like that.
Right.
You know, are the UFC going to help out Australia in that system?
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, mark my words, it will happen. When this fight happens here tomorrow, when we leave, it's going to spread like wildfire after we leave here on Monday. It's happened everywhere we've gone, whether it was a state or another country. This is no shit. When we went into Montreal, I went there for the press conference before the fight. Nobody in Montreal, nobody knew what the UFC was. Nobody knew who Georges St-Pierre was. Nobody knew anything in Montreal. When we left Montreal after that, the way that it affects the businesses, I mean, just the buzz that I've seen since we've been here in Sydney now, all anybody's talking about this weekend is UFC and acdc. That's what everybody's talking about, you know. And if you don't see an acdc shirt, you see a UFC shirt. So, you know, once we go in and the explosion happens, the businesses notice it, and you know, people start to notice what happens after we leave. Plus, there'll be 20-something thousand people here tomorrow that will leave and infect another 30 or 40 people with what they saw here tomorrow night, tomorrow morning, whatever it is. But trust me, when we leave here, people are going to notice.
Just one more, with tough this year, are you going to do a bit more training, like based on the training rather than based on little practical jokes and whatnot?
Depends on what happens. If the practical jokes are more exciting than the training, you're going to see practical jokes.
All right, Dana.
How you doing?
Good, mate. This is a quick one. It's a little left field. When's the last time you took an aerobics class? and do you miss it?
No, I haven't taken aerobics class in a while, as you can tell. And I do miss when I used to teach boxing. It was fun. It was some of the best times of my life. And when I'm in Las Vegas, I still bump into people that used to train with me, and we talk about the good old days.
Because I read during the week in the paper that you used to ride a push bike to your aerobics class. Is that true?
You mean a bicycle?
Yeah, that's right.
That's very true. Actually, that was when I was in Boston. Where's Morzo? Me and Morzo talk. My man from Boston. We talk about it all the time. I used to ride my bike with a huge hockey bag on my back from class to class and teach. It's true.
That's right, mate.
Thanks. I think he was trying to bust my balls.
Hey boss, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Very good. Hey, WEC, UFC, club both. Is there any consideration swapping, sharing fighters, lightweight division, BJP?
Ask me that question again. What'd you say?
Like sharing fighters between UFC and WEC? Like BJP coming over fighting 155, WEC pay-per-view, get more exposure?
Gotcha. No. The WEC is the lighter weight classes. I don't see, unless a guy in that smaller weight division, like Aldo or Faber or those guys could move up. But you gotta understand, the 55 pounders in the UFC are big guys. For those guys in the smaller weight divisions to move up, I mean, if you look at Kenny Florian fought in the first season of The Ultimate Fighter at 85 pounds, you know what I mean? Didn't belong there, but that's where he fought. Then ended up moving down to 70 and eventually 55. BJ Penn has fought at 70. I mean, BJ Penn fought Lyoto Machida. You know what I mean? He didn't belong there either, but he did it. And the 55-pound division in the UFC, they're big guys.
Sweet. Just one other question I promised I would ask.
Yep.
Is there any pressure on Stefan Bonnar to win a fight, or is he super live in the UFC?
No, listen, Stefan Bonnar is a tough guy, he's a competitor, and obviously he wants to come back and win, but I'll tell you this, it's 100% honest, Stefan Bonnar and Forrest Griffin are like two of my kids. They're going to be with us forever, man, no matter what happens. They're not going anywhere.
First off, thanks for coming to Australia again, Dana. Much appreciated. My question is, what's the update on the GSP Anderson Silva? How is that looking?
Here's the thing. I always used to think about the GSP Anderson Silva fight too, and I used to think, how interesting that would be. But after seeing Anderson Silva fight at 205 pounds, I just think he's too big. He's too big. When we did Anderson versus Forrest Griffin, and today you'll see at the weigh-ins, the scale will be here, and then the guys come over here and square off, and Anderson Silva was as big or bigger than Forrest Griffin. Forrest Griffin right now, he screwed up his foot. He weighs like 250 pounds, okay? He normally walks at 230. He's huge, he's an enormous guy. And Anderson Silva's as big as him. It's amazing how that guy makes 85 pounds. I just think he's too big for GSP. And that's my opinion. But, I think if he cleans out that division, you'll see him going to 205 and taking on the best in the world at 205.
As I walk through the valley of death, running in circles and losing my breath, realizing I've lost my faith. Like an iceberg in the sea sinking boats, sold my soul on the crossroads. I did it to pass some time, 99 ideas for the next crime. How about a strong armed robbery? It's not like they stopped me. Give the motherfucker about the police. They're the main reason of breaking peace. Don't be blinded by their crooked schemes. They have enough power for their regime. Being above the law, you'll face incarceration. No help, no hero, and no salvation. So homie, please, and just please, don't get stuck in the game.